This is the Yes Network right here. Phantom Acts of Kindness hooking us up right here.
Yeah, he's excelled at every level, and they told this kid, hey, you have the opportunity to win the job in camp. So, like, you got to put Judge in this category. When you're talking about the most impressive season since, like, you got to put A-Rod. Like, format, this first year, the new format, the Beast of the East. The Yankees crushed the best division in baseball. McPherson, WFAN, on stage.
Hey, Keith Mack, man, big fan.
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Just making sure I'm not peeking here. Are we live on Twitter? Yeah. Are we live on YouTube? Yeah. I know we're live on Instagram, yeah. Let me fire up the TikToking it on. Stop. Once I get TikTok up, then we'll do a quick live here before I do my actual show. Yo, Scoop B, what up? I gotta get my TikTok live up right now too. Go live. Why is my camera like that? Oh, I see it. It's all good. Oh, I see it. I don't got the lights on, that's why. And I saw Elgato did a new update. Let me see. Mic check. Unmute audio. Mic is good. Go live here. I'm going to make this WFAN overnight prep. WFAN overnight prep. Go live on TikTok. All right, now I'll let everybody see me on, live on TikTok. Up and running. Move that there. And the grand reveal. I'm here. I'm drinking some tea. Because I got to get that caffeine. I see y'all in the chat already. Can I play some beats? Man, why don't I play some beats, though? And my headphones are too loud. But I could drop a beat or something on them. Why not? Why not drop a... Yeah, I think I always start with this beat. This beat is called Animals by my boy Party. On TikTok, you can't hear the beat. Just try to imagine it in your head. And I finally got the TikTok chat up. And the Instagram chat. Yo. I'm in the Instagram chat now. Finally got the Instagram chat sorted out on StreamYard. Let's go with y'all. Hey. I'm doing my thing. You know what it is. Biz kids, you know what it is. I did what I did. I do what I does. You know what it was. You know what it is. You know I'm the ish. You know I'm the ish. You know that it is what it is. What it is. What the is. What the it. Hey. Gabe, holla at me, bro. Just put it on the schedule. The playbook in the chat says, and let me turn the beat down a little bit. Playbook is in the chat. He says, we got to get another live stream. We got to get another live in soon before the Yankee season. Facts. Big facts. TikTok, I see all over here. I got the monitor up. Let me get all these lights on in here. As a matter of fact. Yeah. With the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I'll get to the 11. Where my lights at? Where my lights at? Where my mics at? Mic check, mic check, just like that. They wrote me off and I ain't right back. They know that I'm just like that. Hey, I might rap, I might kick a couple flows. In my bank account, I'm trying to have 100 O's, 0, 0, 0 with a couple commas. I stay with the drama. Yeah, she love me, but I won't stay with your mama. Hey. All right, let's actually do what I came in here to do. In the TikTok chat, I see y'all in the TikTok chat. Dixie Normus, you cracked me up. Dixie Normus. I actually talked to DeAndre McKenzie about you in real life, Dixie Normus. Shout out to John in the TikTok chat. Dominic, how long we on for tonight? Until I got to go to work, until I got to leave. So probably 11:30. Happy Ramadan in the Instagram chat. What do the Yankees need to do? Win. Yo, Cam, is it baseball season yet? Yeah, it is. For the most part, it is. And so for the most part, what I'm going to do in this live right now is go through things that I am going to talk about on my show tonight on WFAN coming up at 12. So let me kill this beat and welcome you guys into my stream. I've been busy, man. I've been busy. This is what I call the invisible season. And Dixie Normus, yes, he did expose you. We'll talk about it another time. But, I was listening to this guy on Instagram, and I forget his name. I wish I could credit him. But he was talking about how bamboo grows underground, and then it just sprouts up, and they see how long and strong the bamboo is. And while the bamboo is growing underground, that is the invisible season, and how we all need an invisible season. I've had so many seasons in front of people. I've had so many seasons now in the public eye. I've had so many seasons now on air, on TV, on radio, on social media. And I feel good about, some of the invisible work that has transpired in these last couple months. The sleeve, you team boomer, of course. What does that mean though? Because that could be convoluted. Will you be streaming when you go on the fan? Nah, we don't stream the overnight. I don't know. It's a 5-hour show overnight. There's not that many people awake. I mean, of course you can get a couple people in the stream, but it's a lot to manage. It's a lot to manage the stream and do a show. And our digital team is sleeping. And shout out to the great WFAN digital team. Shout out to this great mug. You guys see this mug right here? You see this mug right here? That was for the three-peat. That was when I started to actually like baseball and watch baseball, bro. Let me change my camera up. Auto here. Automatic here. We're good there. Yeah, so let me do what I wanted to do here. What I wanted to do here is talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. But first, this first couple minutes, we welcome everybody in. Pam, what's up? Now I'm in the YouTube chat. Chris Gomez, what up? What's good? Casual Gamer, what's good? Appreciate y'all. Noti Squad, Notification Gang. That notification goes off that I'm live and you guys pull up, and I appreciate that. I'm not really promoting my YouTube channel because it's not gonna be my main thing. If that makes any sense. Checking in for KM prep to the real KM to AM. Exactly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? Jack and Cheese says, what up, Keith? Let's go Yanks. Let's go. I like your hat, Keith. Dope. Yeah, this is a BY Black Yankees hat. This is a Somerset Patriots alternative. Let's see here. The TikTok chat is going off. I see we're picking up on TikTok. I don't mean to neglect y'all. Let me move the TikTok chat over here so I can actually see it and not have it on the monitor. I have my notes over here on the monitor for my second overnight, back-to-back overnights coming up on the TikTok chat. Will you be streaming when you go on WFAN? I said no. How are you feeling about the Yankees rotation? Good. Like running the lineup back? It is what it is. I don't have a say. Like it's too late to really be crying about it. Are you back full-time on the fan? No, sir. Hey, Keith, love what you do on WFAN. Looking forward to baseball season. So am I. Spring training trip is booked. I will be down there March 10th to 13th. And what I'm looking to do is a World Baseball Classic watch party on the 10th. And we'll figure out what bar, what restaurant we're going to get together on the 10th to watch Italy versus the United States in that watch party. And then there's a night game the following day, the 11th, the Blue Jays versus the Yankees at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Hopefully it'll be on TV. Hopefully it'll be a great vibe. We'll get some people together there early, show up to the game early, and get some content and go watch the Yankees a little bit. 64 Deep, a Red Sox podcast. Wake 'em up. Bandwagon. What you talking about, bro? Keith, overall as a Yanks fan, you feeling good? Yeah, I'm always feeling good. Hope springs eternal. I'm always feeling good the first week of workouts. I'm always feeling good the first week of camp. Everybody's undefeated. Everybody's 0-0. Everybody's optimistic right now. Armchair Golfer says, missing you on WFAN. Love when you brought kids on to talk. Yeah, I was speaking about that last night. I was speaking about how I read an article that Gen Z kids do not watch sports as much. They don't identify as sports fans, which I think is crazy because that was so much of our identity as young guys. What team do you rep? What sports do you watch? And that's not the same anymore. Let's see. I was looking for the overnight to watch it and it was not on. Yeah, I pushed for my show to get put on WFAN YouTube back in August. And then I stepped down from my show in November. Once in a while, I'm on during daytime hours. They will stream me. It's not like I'm getting 1,000 people to watch the stream at once concurrent. I'm not stupid. I know who I am. I know I'm good, but I know I'm not famous. I know I'm not mega. I'm not big. So if a tree falls in the woods and it doesn't make a sound, and no one hears it, did it make a sound? I'm going to do these overnight shows humbly, and they don't need to be on YouTube. They don't need to be live streamed in a chat, especially because, like I said, the digital team is sleeping at night. And so then I have to monitor it while doing a show. Dario Davis was good, Brody. Stoner Detectives, are you going to spring training and have you taken little man yet? Yeah, my son's been to spring training every year of his life. He's spoiled and blessed. We're going again. So what's the scuttlebutt on J. Dom and Spencer Jones? Jack and Cheese writes. Randy also says, do you think Dominguez and Jones will be traded? I don't know. Somebody could get hurt. Trent Grisham could get hurt. This time last year, Trent Grisham had a hamstring injury. Future in the chat. It's your boy. What up, Future? How you feeling, bro? You got some Advils? You got that CTE? You all right? Hopefully you're doing well. Greg White says, see you in the right field bleachers this season? Of course. How do I not go home? Of course. How do I not go back to 203? I can't tell you exactly when, but I'll be at a bunch of games this year, of course. Good evening, Keith. Victor says, good to see you again. Good to see you as well. Jeff says, last night was good. Thanks. I'm putting together another show for tonight. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I have in my show for tonight is the Lunar New Year 2026, the year of the fire horse. All right, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I can share my screen. Can I share screen to do that? No, I can't share my notes there. That's fine. But you guys are familiar with the Lunar New Year? I'm very big on that because it was a transitional year for me, and I feel like I'm aligned with this year of the horse. Celebrated by millions around the world, this is a time for cultural traditions, family reunions, and hopes for good fortune in the coming year. The Lunar New Year begins today, kicking off the 16-day Spring Festival. So I will have some stuff about Year of the Fire Horse weaved into my show, Year of the Fire Horse. And then I also am going to do this right now. Shout out to the people watching on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm not paying attention to the chat, and I apologize for that. It was in a different tab. Burns says, what do you think about the young starting pitchers, Carlos and Elmer? Carlos Lagrange and Elmer Rodriguez Cruz are in line to get starts coming up here. I have that in my notes as well. We'll talk about it on WFAN. I think it's great. Throw them into the fire, sink or swim. Elmer Rodriguez Cruz will start for the Yankees on Friday against the Orioles, and Carlos Lagrange will start Saturday against the Tigers, according to Eric Bolin. The two young guns get to showcase themselves early. That was reported by Fireside Yankees. Shout out to the good folks over there. My guy Sam Lucchini and Ryan Garcia, they do great work. I like it. Let's see what they got. Let's see them compete. Midtown 727 says, Keith, I hope you can do the overnights again for now. Nah, I'll tell you this. I'm not above it, and I'm fortunate to be someone that I think has value where, like, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I think I said it on air. Like, WFAN, when I decided to step down because I couldn't do the hours anymore, it was not working for me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and with my family at home. They could have told me kick rocks, bro. They could have said bye. Don't let the door hit you. But I think I have enough value where they said, okay, let's just shift from your full-time role. The station was changing anyway, which I did not know. And they changed the whole lineup. And then they were able to make me a part-time guy like Mark Malusis, like Ricky Ricardo, like Daniel McCartan, like EJ Stewart, like Anthony Gallo, like Emmanuel Berbari. Like, now I go from being in the full-time lineup to being somebody in the part-time lineup. And that's worked better for me. But I don't want to be the full-time overnight guy. No shot. Shout out to LJ in the chat, LJR 706, Andrew 29. What's good? I'm seeing you guys on Instagram now. We finally got Instagram worked out. Keith, are you going to fall asleep on air tonight? No. I got the tea right here. Last night was hard, but shout out to Roger Flax. I was talking to Roger. Roger was like, you sounded awake. You sounded better than ever. I'm like, I sounded better than ever because I am refreshed. But I was hitting that cold brew, and I'm going to hit another cold brew when I go in there. I was hitting that cold brew 11:30 last night, boy. CP Gregory missing KM to AM on the fan. Well, listen, tonight I will do 5 hours from 12 to 5 a.m. And then whenever you get up in the morning, you can play it back. Thanks for the encouragement. George just did his 100th high school play-by-play game. Yo, shout out to Mr. Sewell in the chat. George is a legend already. Tell him I said I'm proud of him and just keep going. I saw that post, and I just think he's got a great career ahead of him, opportunity ahead of him. I think that he is going to do big things in the sports media world, and I'm happy that I was able to play a small part in it. Honestly, I'm happy that George took a liking to me and asked me to be on his show, and I'm somebody that he kind of looks up to, I guess you could say. I'm just trying to get a little more light in here. Keith, are you still friends with Josh from Passaic? I am. I wouldn't say we're friends, though, because I'm a 37-year-old man. He's a 17-year-old kid. We're acquaintances on air. And when he would call in, we had some good back and forth, but I never met the kid. Somebody asked me today, what is the difference right now on February 17th between the Yankees and the Mets rosters? Oh, that's a great question. I'm actually going to steal that from my notes. So thanks to VNV15, I am screenshotting that right now, and I'm putting that in my notes. Because that's something to talk about. That is something to talk about. When we run out of stuff to talk about in the wee hours of the morning, I'm going to say, call me up and tell me today on February 18th, what is the difference between the Yankees and the Mets rosters? Go. Keith, can you stand up and do some jumping jacks live on air for us? I don't know why you would need that. What's up, Keith? W show last night. Appreciate y'all checking the replay. I think Spencer Jones is a bust. I watch a lot of his minor league games, and he's got a big hole in his swing. Joey Ben says that. Yeah, Spencer Jones is not really somebody we're worried about right now. I don't think he's going to get a chance. Keith, I see you have a newspaper clipping of Derek Jeter behind you. Are you a fan of his? Of course I am. How could I not be a fan of Jeter? How could I not be a Jeter fan? Trade Jones and Dominguez. Why can't they set up telework from your house? That's a good question. I've never been offered the Comrec system. There's a whole system that needs to be set up here for me to do shows remotely, and that hasn't been granted for me. Brian says, you talk baseball? I'm new here. Of course, it's baseball season. What team are you a fan of? Pull a Summers and start a podcast? No. And shout out to CP Gregory. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even promote my YouTube. I don't promote these live streams. I just go live when I go live because I just like to connect with people and vibe, and I'm not pushing anything on people. I'm not the guy right now that's like, yo, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my podcast, or listen. It's just like, if you fuck with me, you'll figure it out. If you vibe with me, you'll follow me, you'll see what I'm doing, and it'll materialize. And I'm not forcing anybody to do anything, bro. We're bombarded every day with new podcasts, new shows, new radio shows, new streaming stuff. Like, it's too much. It's too much. If you like what I do, I think, you'll organically find me. And what I'm saying is right now, I don't have a podcast. I don't have a show. And like, not because I don't need one or want one, because I'm doing some other things. Like I'm filling in on WFAN and still keeping my presence on the number one sports talk station in the world ever. And then I'm also gearing up for this baseball season. Like, when baseball starts, I plan on being right here in this room, live streaming the games on this monitor right here, and then doing a little post-game show and just chilling and vibing. And like, I don't claim to be Johnny Baseball. I don't claim to be baseball savant. I like the game. I like the Yankees, but really I like the community of it. I like talking to other fans. I like living it with other fans. That's why I go to the game so much. That's why I started going to games by myself, because I can meet a random stranger fan at the game and have a good time sitting next to somebody that I don't know. And here we are again with 162 upon us in a little bit more than a month. So, that's where I'm going. And shout out to everybody that's pushing their podcast. Shout out to everybody that's pushing their YouTube. I'm just not on that yet. Like, not for nothing. Like, somebody is going to bring me in where I won't have to do all that pushing. Somebody is going to say, oh, we want you to work for us. We will do all the marketing and promo. You just be yourself. You just get on the mic. You just let it rip. Frank Restivo, WFAN needs to wise up and have you on primetime full-time. You have more talent than most of the people on days. I don't want to bash people, but you are way more talented than the people they have. You're right. Correct. But I think it's a good lesson for people to realize, like, everything in the world is not merit-based. Everything in the world isn't based off talent. And also, it's all subjective. You might think I'm dope. There are a bunch of people that think I'm whack. They're wrong, but you might think I'm dope. There are other people like, this guy sucks. Chef Cisco says the Mets are going to be a very exciting team. Yeah, we say that every year, right? Every year. Here come the Mets. Here come what the Mets are going to be. I would like them to be. I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. Carlos Mendoza spoke today. Carlos Mendoza was on Carton's show today. I will talk about what he had to say. That's another thing, as a matter of fact. Let's cue some of that up right now. That's good prep for the show. Richard Bauer Jr. says, you on WFAN tonight? Yeah, I am. We're going to talk about Tony Clark. There's so much about Tony Clark that I think is fodder. I don't think it's going to matter to us too much as fans. We're going to talk about, the franchise tag, the transitional tag in the NFL, and, what players and teams that's going to impact. We can talk about the Giants and their draft. We can talk about free agency with, Tyler Linderbaum. I think it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to come over here. And like I said, Carlos Mendoza. So let's cue up some Carlos Mendoza right now. The chat is coming in crazy. So I am live on TikTok. I am live on Instagram. I am live on YouTube. I am live on Twitter. So if I'm not seeing what you're saying right away, I'll get to it. But right now, I want to get to some audio. I want to get to Carlos Mendoza speaking, because this is what I will probably be using, in my show tonight. I think it's just, you do the overnights, the middle of the night, you get some calls. What I'll say is it's important to always look at what the other shows talk about, but then also kind of not listen to what the other shows talk about. So Carlos Mendoza was on the Carton show. I did listen to that interview. What is this? You had time to... I don't... I'm not going down that rabbit hole on Twitter right now. So let's go to SNY Mets, and let's play some cuts from Mets manager Carlos Mendoza, who might be on a little bit of a hot seat this year if the Mets do not win. A lot of the questioning on the Carton show was about the clubhouse and about politics and like what went wrong. And, he said he had to laugh and that politics weren't the issue. And I don't know what to tell y'all, man. It wasn't the right vibe in the Mets clubhouse last year. And Craig and C-Mac brought it up. They said it's something that I forgot. The fact that these guys could not win a game late last year. They could not rally to win a game last year. They didn't win any games that they were trailing in the eighth. They had no comeback victories. Like, the whole thing in baseball is like having last licks and like bottom of the ninth, like coming back. They did not have that in their bones. They did not have a rally in their bones at all. And I don't know. So Carlos Mendoza shares that Brandon Waddell will start the first game of spring training. I'll clip that. Let's see. Carlos Mendoza says Francisco Alvarez, Jorge Polanco, and Brett Beatty will miss time. That's probably the most substantial thing that came out today. So let's go there and hear that. Injuries are hitting the Mets. That's something, right? Where I'm looking at this question I'm going to pose. What's the difference between the Yankees and Mets rosters right now? Health. All right, let's share this. Share screen. Let's go to sny.tv. Let's go to Carlos Mendoza and put Carlos Mendoza on right here.
Players be on that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, we got a few of them. Albi's going to be on a progression as well. We all know how hard he works, but I don't think we'll see him in games the first week. Jorge Polanco, same way. This is a guy that when we signed him, physicals, he had a surgery about a year and a half. Some of the things but he's going to continue to get live at bats, and we'll put him on backfield action before we put him on a game. I think that's it for now. Oh, Brett Beatty is the other one. He felt something on the right hamstring about 2 weeks ago that we so he's gonna, especially like reps in the outfield, that's gonna take a little bit, but he's fine. But yeah, because he felt something on the hamstring, we are going to slow play.
Okay, so the TikTok people are wondering why I'm not talking. Carlos Mendoza was just giving updates on 3 players that are going to miss time. Francisco Alvarez, Jorge Polanco, and Brett Beatty. Just going to miss some time in spring training as a precaution. Again, don't panic. It is early. You do not want to rush these guys into anything. You got to have kid gloves. You got to have, just a slow approach on, bringing these guys through. Mikey Snipe says Yankee record prediction. The over-under is 91.5. I'm going to say 94 because if you're running it back, you better win 94 games again. You run it back. You won 94 games the last 2 years. You're running it back. You better win. You better win 94 games again so people can't say anything. And you better get further than the DS. Boog says, do you think Lindor will be ready for opening day? I don't. Nettles fan will be listening at 3 p.m. on my drive home from Long Island. Great to hear you. Miss listening to you while walking my dog. What's up, man? Appreciate you. Yeah, it'll be there in the Odyssey app. Eric, what's up, bro? Family's good. Everybody is sleeping on the home front. I'm about to slide out of here in about an hour and go to the station. C. Sewell says, Mets difference is high ceiling and not sure where the floor is. Yankees will be a 92 to 96 win team. Are you getting MLB the show 26? Nah, I don't play video games. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I don't play video games. I stopped playing video games when I was 12. What I'll say is like, I had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles. Couldn't be playing no video games. Like when you gotta, grind and you gotta, figure it out. You can't play no video games. I'll put the banner up. Be right back. So with this Tony Clark stuff, and I'm back now. I thought I dropped a beat. Didn't I drop a beat on y'all? Damn. I didn't even leave a beat for y'all to listen to. Oh, I know what happened here. The beats were muted. All right, well, let me come back with a beat real quick. And we right back, and we right back, and we right back with the black cap, with the black caps. Yeah, you know it's K-Mac, it's KM. I be rocking on the radio till AM. I do the overnight and I kick the beat tight, kick the beat right. You gonna go to sleep after the night. Yeah, after I talk about the Yankees and Mets, I talk about the Knicks, I won't talk about the Nets. I'll talk about the Giants and I'll skip over the Jets. Like what's next? We gonna talk about Tony Clark, not Tony Stark. We gonna talk about a bunch of things in the dark, after the show goes off. I'm going off till my flow goes off. I don't stop. All I do is rock. Mic check. 1, 2 off the top. Hey, your boy KM back on the stream again. Mic check. 1, 2. Like, be right back. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm right back. And I'm right back. And I'm right back. Just like that. Yeah.
Another one. Another one.
All right, and then we bring the beat down. See, that's what I do. I just kick a little freestyle, kick a little bop, and then I come right back and we get right back to the chat. You feel me? Just having fun with it, bro. Just having fun with it, bro. All right, so here's what I'll probably play on my show tonight in regards to Tony Clark. Tony Clark was like the main guy you would see always mugging, grilling Rob Manfred. So now who's going to do that? I don't know. I don't think it's something we really need to worry about as fans. When I woke up and saw it, I was like, not good. But like, what do we know? What do we really know? All right, let me move this TikTok chat. TikTok, you guys are in like 4th place. Yo, Ocean County, Monmouth County rep, met you at WFAN summer event. Thanks for asking for my name. You keeping up with the men's USA hockey and what our Devils going to do to finish this year? Yeah, I was watching a little bit of the hockey. Yeah, whenever I meet somebody, I try to ask their name. It's always awkward if, you know, somebody knows your name and you don't know their name because they know you a little bit. It's always like, hey, what's your name, man? Nice to meet you. You know, being on the radio and stuff can change how people meet you. And the Devils got to make the playoffs. I'm thinking about when I'm going to go to my next Devils game. My boy Christian has a game set up on the 4th of April. But I want to go sooner than that. All right, here's Tony Clark, man. Here's not Tony Clark. Here's Jeff Passan talking about Tony Clark. We don't have to play this whole thing, but we'll play a couple minutes of it. I will probably play some of it on The Fan. This is Jeff Passan on the Rich Eisen show. What impact will Tony Clark's resignation as head of MLB Players Association have on the CBA and a possible lockout in 2027?
Very busy day of Major League Baseball. I give you the floor on the story of the day. Jeff, what's going on with that?
And TikTok can't hear it.
Tony Clark, the executive director of the MLB Players Association, is resigning today. And this is something, Rich, that I think a lot of people in the game have been expecting for some time. After Don Van Naut and I broke the story back in May of last year that the federal government and the Eastern District of New York, which has been in the news plenty, whether it's for the NBA gambling or for Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, they are looking into both financial improprieties that have been alleged, as well as potential obstruction as well. And I think it just got to the point now that this is a seminal year for Major League Baseball and especially for the Players Association. You've got owners who want to implement a salary cap, and what you need if you are the players and you're opposed to the salary cap is strong leadership. And with this hanging over Tony Clark as long as it has, the feeling was it was just going to be a matter of time until he got forced out or resigned. There is no succession plan at this point. Players are meeting at 4:30 on a Zoom call from the various camps and the player leaders, the 30 for each team, as well as the 8-man executive subcommittee, are going to talk about what the future looks like. And they might elect an interim executive director today. They may punt that for a couple days down the road. But I think what the players realize is that this is a mess. It's a mess that they need to clean up a lot sooner than later, because the days are ticking down until December 1st, and that collective bargaining agreement is going to expire. The likelihood is that Major League Baseball is going to lock out the players, and once that happens, it's going to become a staring contest. And the question of who blinks first, it might be a question that comes down to who is strongest.
All right, I'm off that. Listen, so with Tony Clark, bro, somebody else will do the job. I think what I deduce from this whole Tony Clark thing is that the brother was making some mistakes in his personal life. He was messing with his sister-in-law. Bro, what? Like, I'm sure I'm going to talk about that tonight. Like, dudes trip me out, bro. Dudes that are in positions of power, they fumble the ball over the power of the punani. And it's like, it could be any chick. Your sister-in-law, bro, that's weird as hell. Your sister-in-law, what are you doing? Like, how does that go down? And then they're posting pictures of him and his wife. And I'm like, is your sister-in-law, is that your wife's sister or your brother's wife? Tony Clark's inappropriate relationship with sister-in-law sparked MLBPA resignation. What was Buddy on? What the fuck was he doing? Justin, Tony Clark resigned as executive director of the MLB Players Association after an internal investigation discovered the 53-year-old had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law. And I think he was using some funds or some benefits to trick on her, to take her out, to do things with her. Bro, what? What? Like, what? Like, how do you fumble your position over that? And Jeff Passan wrote the same thing. MLBPA executive director Tony Clark resigned after an internal investigation revealed he had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who had been hired by there it goes. That's the one I need. Who had been hired by the union in 2023. So I think that is the most important part to note. And you got to go back to what's homie's name? Shamar Moore? Nah, I'm wildin'. Shamar Moore is the actor. I need this tea to kick in. Sharon Moore, the head coach at University of Michigan, and his whole situation and how he fumbled his millions of dollars head ball coach spot over a chick. Over a girl that was his assistant. Wilding out. Like, I don't know. These guys got to be better, man. What else? So I'm putting my Tony Clark stuff together. I don't think that's going to be the open. But I think it is something to talk about. And then we'll get into the lockout conversation, because how could we not? Yeah. I don't know. Tony Clark, he's got that like bulldog look to him, but somebody else will do it. I got to find the name of the guy. Who's the guy that they had mentioned that could potentially step in to, I guess, do his job? Something, Brian Myers, maybe? I know I had a note of it. Now I can't find it. There's a few guys that they were talking about today. It's like, oh, this guy can step up. This guy can do the job. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. Other than that, what else popped up today? John Carlos Stanton met the media. Carlos Mendoza met the media. Somebody asked me, how do I feel about MJ? It's MJ's birthday. I'm an MJ fan. I don't really care about the whole thing with him scratching the kid's back, butt, legs. It's just stupid. It's going to blow over. And my whole thing I'm going to say is this whole thing blew over before his birthday. So happy birthday to the GOAT, Michael Jordan, 23. He's 63. I'm going to make sure I wear a Jordan hoodie today, wear my J's. And what I'll say about that whole issue with the kid was like, the kid's dad was right there and the kid was fine. It's like, it's always the internet helicoptering in, bro. It's always the internet helicoptering in to try to like cancel somebody or make something out of something. Like, you weren't there. There was no problem physically there. So mind your beeswax. Mind your business. Are you back on the fan? Yeah, tonight at 12 to 5. User with a bunch of numbers says it's his friend's son. He had ice in his shirt. It's his driver's son. It's all good. Right. Scott says Jordan was taking ice cubes off the kid's back. Sure, whatever. It didn't look like I didn't see no ice cubes, but whatever people want to say it is, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Scott says Tony Clark used to hit bombs and strike out a lot. Now he's just striking out. Yeah, there's a big strikeout. That's a big strikeout. It's just a miss. Cam, don't give up on the Nets. When we hit in a game in BK, I have plenty of hookups from my time there when you want to go. Yeah, I got hookups from my time there. I don't want to go. I thought about going to see Jokic. And shout out to Dan over there at the Nets. He had put the tickets to the side to go see Jokic, and then Jokic got hurt right before that game. And, you know, my thing with the Nets is I'm down on them. My thing with the Nets is like they're not fun to root for. They have a miserable existence. They make it hard for their fans. They just always do dumb shit, bro. Like a Ben Simmons trade. They always do dumb shit, bro. Like they just kept trading for players. And, you know, the last thing was them cutting Cam Thomas. They waived Cam Thomas. He signs with the Bucks, and it's just like, here we go again. Here we go again. So, yeah, I know they're hard to root for. They're hard to love. They're hard to love. How do you stream to all platforms at once? Pinstripe Bugle, you gotta buy a streaming platform. You gotta buy a subscription to. I use StreamYard, but I've used Riverside. I've used what was the other one I used? Riverside, StreamYard, and there was another one I did a quick trial of, but I like StreamYard the best. You can use OBS. You can use Stream.io. You got to get a platform. It's worth paying for it. And what you do is connect all of your platforms to it, and then it puts this one video across them. Luca Lechoso says, I missed you at Bleecker Cards. You making any other appearances there or around NYC? Yeah, we're planning the next one. It's not confirmed yet, but late March, I think the week of opening day, we're going to do Bleecker Trading Roundtable, Content Creator Roundtable Part 2. So, yeah, you know, be on the lookout for that. We're going to do another one. Let's see, what else? Are you on the fan? Yes, I am tonight. Good to show how much work goes into prepping for a show. I know how tough those type shifts can be. I was on at 6 a.m. 5 days a week. Overnight is harder. Yeah, 6 a.m. at least you can kind of go to bed like now and get up at 4 and go to work. But doing a 12 to 5 is tough. What else do we have? Maybe some NFL. I will try and get into some NFL conversation tonight along the lines of free agency as well as the draft. So, like, here's one thing from Shefty. You know, as we talk about the franchise tag and the transitional tag and who's going to get hit with that and who's not. So, Adam Schefter reported yesterday, he said only 2 players, Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins and Chiefs guard Trey Smith, were tagged last year. Teams can begin applying the franchise or transition tags today through March 3rd. Potential franchise tag candidates: George Pickens, Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, Kyle Pitts, Kenneth Walker III, Trey Hendrickson, and Brees Hall. I think there's a real conversation around Brees Hall and the Jets. I also think we will talk about these other things in the NFL. Let me know if I'm forgetting any other NFL stories. Obviously, people can talk about Tyreek Hill. I'll bring it up tonight, but I don't think he's coming to the Jets or the Giants. James says, you doing WFAN tonight? Yeah, so the purpose of this like hour-long stream is just me talking to you guys about the stories of today and what I'm going to talk about on air. So the Jets should probably not draft Caleb Williams or Caleb Downs at number 2. There are 2 very good reasons. Shout out to Michael Nania. I'm going to use that as just a conversational thing to say, should the Jets draft Caleb Downs knowing that the Giants want him? 888-808-1019. And then one of the last things I got, and I always this is what I do. I just like screenshot tweets and stuff that pops up on Twitter that's getting, conversation, and I put it in my notes so we can go back to it on air. What time do you go on? I'm on at midnight. It's 10:30. I'm on in 90 minutes, so I'm going to leave soon. Anthony Richardson. So this came out about Anthony Richardson. It's starting to seem inevitable. Whoa, James sent a manifesting. I don't know what the hell that was that just popped up on TikTok, but that was cool. It's starting to seem inevitable that the Colts QB Anthony Richardson will request a trade from Indianapolis this offseason as they plan to move forward with Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback when he can return from a torn Achilles. So, Jets fans, you want the Jets to take a swing at Anthony Richardson? I don't. We'll talk about Hendon Hooker tonight. We'll talk about Kirk Cousins tonight. We'll talk about Carson Wentz tonight. Derek Carr is not coming through. Maybe Mitch Trubisky, Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think they're going to get Malik Willis. We'll talk about the Jets QB situation. They got to find a QB, but like not a long-term QB. They need a 1-year QB. Nate, Jesus loves you. Appreciate you, bro. Greetings from Nashville, bud. Awesome job with your show. Yup, we're fans. Thank you very much. I'll be doing an overnight show tonight. It'll live on the Odyssey app. And we'll take calls and we'll rock. We'll find a bunch of things to talk about. We'll find a bunch of stuff to talk about. In the baseball world, injuries popping up. We've got this with Pablo Lopez. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I bet you have if you're a baseball fan. Not great for the Minnesota Twins, and it makes you think, what are the Twins going to do now? Are the Twins going to keep selling off? I'm writing in my notes as we speak. Here is the breaking news from earlier. Pablo Lopez, starting pitcher of the Minnesota Twins. Twins GM Jeremy Zoll told reporters that Pablo Lopez is going for a second opinion on his UCL tear and that season-ending surgery is an option. He's probably a wrap. You want to get that surgery done sooner rather than later. So, question: been a huge New York Jets fan. Who will be our starting quarterback come September? Nobody knows. That's what we're going to try and figure out tonight on the Fan. Now, I don't think it's going to be Derek Carr. What was Judge doing hitting up the middle? What was that? He was just hitting the ball. There was a net there. Freed was fine. Foreman Prods. How do you feel about Rami Lavi? I rock with Rami. Rami is a guy that came in and just put his head down and worked and just wanted to work. And he has done all types of hours and duties and things at WFAN. Rami is a good dude. Rami is one of the young up and coming guys at WFAN that I feel like will continue to excel, and I'm happy for him because he went from coming into the building and not knowing where to report or what to do to now being a producer of the morning show. A fill-in, but you understand what I mean. He gets that opportunity. He gets the chance to do that. I'm completely ignoring Instagram. On Instagram, it says, way to keep it real, refreshing to see and hear someone being true to themselves. Of course. What New York team will be the first to a championship? Who is the king of New York, Judge, Brunson, or Dart? I don't know. I don't think anybody's winning anything. I think the Knicks have the best opportunity this year, and I think the king of New York is Judge. top AL East rotation, the Yankees, of course. Your Weaver Yankees bag is now a national story, and you weren't first to mention that. I mean, I didn't care about it. I talked about it for 3 minutes on the overnight at 3 a.m. after the Super Bowl. I had no idea that Luke Weaver thing was going to become such a thing. That's just how it goes with the internet these days. I was literally just playing around. I'm like, maybe he showed up late to camp. Maybe what I say? Maybe it's his special bag. Like, I wasn't taking it that serious at all. But whatever. I don't know. I think Michael K had a take on it too, and I texted Caster. When my take. Let me go back to I forget. I was talking to Michael about something else. But I text Michael K because we get the same treatment from Mets fans. I said, Michael, I didn't even hear your take. I guess mine was similar on Luke Weaver, but we both get the same treatment online from these triggered Mets fans. All we were saying was like, yo, you could have avoided that. All we were saying, but I think I didn't really hear Michael's take. But I know people were like, oh, don't let Michael K see this. Don't let Keith McPherson see this. And I'm like, bro, it isn't a don't let us see it. We don't care, bro. We don't care. What it is like, it could have been avoided. I feel like Luke Weaver could have avoided that, and it wouldn't have been a story. I felt like it was something that he didn't think about. I think he was just like, this is my baseball bag. And it's like, yo, you are going from the Mets or from the Yankees to the Mets, bro. Maybe you need to consider not walking in there with that Mets logo, and it won't become a national story. I don't know. But whatever, good for me. Like, that video has a ton of views, and some people are like, Keith is an idiot. I want to punch this guy in the face. Pull up. Rich said, Keith, replace Tommy, that salty weenie Met fan. Did you see his take on how Judge is happiest guy now that Soto has been moved to left field? So Judge is now the best right fielder in baseball. Delusional Tommy. Yeah. You know what it was? MG Dola says, I love Keith, but he wasn't the first on the Weaver bag. I heard it on Evan and Tiki first. I think Evan and Tiki referred to my tweet. So my tweet, my nose, I don't know what it is. I think it's this LED light. Yo, it's the craziest thing. It's like my nose gets itchy. I say it all the time on live. I'm like, why the hell do I always have to whatever. So if I could even go back and find this damn tweet now, I'll show you. My tweet was probably the first thing that started to get attention. But now I got to go back a damn week on my Twitter. And I'm tweeting all the time. I'm trying to get that $40 off Elon. I'm trying to get that $50-$40 off Elon every pay period. Why not? Elon Musk pay you $1,000 in a year to tweet. Okay, here it is. So I guess you just never know what is going to take off. You never know what is going to catch fire. But I do know with Mets and Yankee fans, I know exactly what's going to catch fire. I know exactly what to lean into. So if I go back to the Monday after Super Bowl, right here, this tweet has 31,000 views, 27 retweets, 193 likes, six saves. What I said on this tweet, I said, laughing my ass off. Luke Weaver could have used any other bag, suitcase, bought a new one, pulling up with the Yankees logo on him one more time before he has to put on that orange and blue. Whatever you think about that, it doesn't matter. It's Twitter. It's a good tweet for engagement, 48 replies, whatever. So I'm a Yankee fan, if you guys didn't know that. I'm always going to be on that side. But then I also doubled down on it. Let me scroll back and see if I can show you guys the next day. Okay, so then this is the tweet from WFAN. Keith says it was a bad look for Luke Weaver to show up to Mets camp with a Yankee bag. That's got 344,000 views. And mostly people just saying I look like Milli Vanilli. If you're black and you got long hair, you Milli Vanilli. And I didn't know that was going to blow up like that. I'm telling you, we didn't spend long on it. The clip was a minute 41. I think I might have talked about it for 3 or 4 minutes. 322 replies is nuts, bro. Whatever. So you lean into it. It's harmless. Nobody was hurt in the production of this tweet and this clip and these takes. So then I do this right here. I lean into it with Luke Weaver and I write, they don't know I have Yankee socks on. And that did numbers too, right? And then I took one of my own pictures of my Yankee socks and Luke Weaver. Like, it's just fun, man. People, that's something I gotta say, bro. People gotta have more fun. If you're online and you're getting agitated, if you're online and you're getting like pissed off about this stuff, like you're doing it wrong. If you're online and this stuff is making you crash out, where you're calling me an N-word, or you're attacking me, saying you want to commit violence and do something to me, like, you gotta relax. One, you're not like that. Two, it's not that serious. Tyrese Maxey says, Keith, what's up? I want to meet you. Are you going to be at Fanatics Fest this year? Yeah, I'll be there. I'm not hard to find. I'll be there. But what else we got here? As we got people in the chat. Milli Vanilli, bro, I'm dead. That's such a Wash reference too. Like, I'm old enough to know who Milli Vanilli is, but like, why can't I be Lil Wayne? Why can't I be Lil Durk? Why can't I be Young Thug? Why can't I be, King Von? Like, I'm thinking of like black rappers with locks. I'm like, I gotta be Milli Vanilli. User with a bunch of numbers. How do you feel about the Yankees going all in this offseason? That's got to be a troll, because the Yankees didn't go all in. I don't feel any type of way about that. The Yankees ran it back, and I've gone over it over and over again. I'm sure we're going to go over it again tonight. The Yankees ran it back because they felt like they didn't compete. They felt like they let themselves down. And it's going to get loud as hell if they suck, but I don't expect them to suck. I expect them to be good. So it's going to get loud as hell if the Yankees don't come out of the gate swinging and don't come out, winning and playing well. But I think they're going to be good. Are they going to be good enough to win? I don't know. Are they going to dominate? I don't know. No two seasons are alike. Baseball, you can't predict. So Tommy's crying about getting stuck in Beverly Hills this weekend, possible snowstorm. KM Monday fill in. I'll be ready if so. I'll be ready to rock if so. 96 wins for the boys coming up. I don't know. I guess. What are your thoughts on Christian Parker hire for the Cowboys? As much as I am not rocking with the Cowboys, I did think that was a good hire. And I took 2 calls in the last week about like the lack of black coaches in the NFL. And I think because I'm black, people want me to just be like, that's a shame, man. They need to hire some more brothers, man. Man, those brothers not getting a fair shake. But I'm a football fan. And yes, I am a black man, but I'm not going to just play the race card. I broke it down for people, and we'll talk about it again tonight. Right here, I'll pull this up. This is a good it's a good conversation to have. There are not enough black coordinators. There is not enough of a pipeline. There's not enough of a system. There is not development of black coaches. So when you see this, right, what I'm about to put up on the screen is like grades for the head coaching vacancies. So grading head coaching hires. The Giants get an A. One man's trash is another man's. Thank God. John Harbaugh, A+. The Tennessee Titans get an A for hiring Rob Saleh. He's the only minority candidate, and Rob Saleh, not for nothing, he didn't have a great record with the Jets, but I've been saying on air, people look at the Jets as like they're the Jets. They're the freaking New York Jets, and they're a mess over there. Jesse Minter, he was one of the top candidates, so the Baltimore Ravens get an A landing him. We'll see how that goes. Clint Kubiak, another top candidate, but I talk about his last name, Gary Kubiak's son. Yes, he deserves it. Great year with the Great year with the Seahawks and what he was able to do with JSN and Sam Darnold. He gets an opportunity to be a head coach. Jeff Hafley, I think the Dolphins are repeating the mistakes that they've repeated in the past. Another coordinator, another Brian Flores, a defensive coordinator. Mike LaFleur to be a head coach this quickly in Arizona, I think is nuts. Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta, they're going to run his ass out of there. They got to win quickly or they're going to run him out. Joe Brady as the head coach in Buffalo, that's a default hire. That's just their offensive coordinator getting the job. They tried to interview Phillip Rivers. Todd Monken getting the Browns job, nobody wanted that job. Nobody wanted that job. Shout out to Foley in the chat, said tap the screen, share this knowledge, Keith is dropping. Yeah, TikTok, I appreciate you guys showing love. And then an F for the Pittsburgh Steelers getting rid of Mike Tomlin and defaulting into Mike McCarthy. So going back to the black thing of it, there are not enough black coordinators. I said this last night on air. How many black offensive coordinators are there in the NFL? I'll give you a couple minutes to tell me. No, I don't need to give you a couple minutes because the answer is zero. There are none. There are no black offensive coordinators. Now, there are a few black defensive coordinators, right? Like, Vance Joseph, Kelvin Shepard, Anthony Weaver, and those guys got jobs or held jobs and got interviews. Raheem Morris got some interviews. Antonio Pierce got some interviews, but those guys got interviews because of the Rooney Rule. They had to satisfy the Rooney Rule, which is to interview 2 minority candidates. But who wants an interview and not a real opportunity to land the job? That's what Brian Flores is suing the league for right now. Discrimination in the hiring process. Feeling like he was qualified, feeling like he should have gotten the job, but feeling like he was treated as a token. He was treated as just to check a box because he's black, but not actually getting the opportunity. I don't know if Eric Bieniemy has taken that job, but even so, let's see. Eric Bieniemy is a football coach who is the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid is the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. And even if we want to play the semantics game, he wasn't this past year. He wouldn't be considered an offensive coordinator in the NFL until week 1 of this upcoming year. But shout out to Jay Reels. Shout out to Jay Reels. Count it. That's the closest thing to it, Eric Bieniemy. And he's another guy that was trying to get a head coaching job. He left Kansas City. He left that dynasty. And he went to work with the Commanders for a year and went right back. He also was with the Bears, I think. I think he was a Bears running back coach. So if you want there to be more black coaches, there has to be more black candidates that are actual good candidates. There has to be more of a pipeline to choose from. There are a ton of black players that want to get into coaching. There are a ton of black players that want to get the opportunity, like Aaron Glenn talked about how, what happened here in my TikTok video? Okay, there we go. There are a bunch of black coaches that I'm sure will want the opportunity, but it's not presented to them. And, it's a lot of times it's easy to play the race card. It's easy to say, oh, well, these owners aren't black, so they don't want to hire black coaches. They want to hire winners. They want to win. The only thing they're seeing is green. Winning brings you dollars. Steve B says, glad to hear you last night. How are you liking the overnights? Go Hawks. I like doing shows. And I don't care if it's in the middle of the night because this is a city that never sleeps. I also just am, trying to help out and do what I can to be in the fold at WFAN for the station and for the listeners. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want the overnight shift, but I'm not against doing it right now. I'm scrolling through Instagram before we wrap this up. Keith, man, miss you on the radio, big dog. Yo, big dog pulls. I'm on tonight. We need you at Hobby Shop NJ Cards. Send the invite. We'll set something up. Do the Knicks have enough dogs to get through the East and beat Detroit now? They better. They better. They better. All right, last call for comments and commentary. I think I pretty much hit on all these different things. I'm sure I'll add some more stuff. As I get on air. It's a 5-hour show. It's a long show. Question: been a huge New York Jets fan. Who will be our starting quarterback? I think I read that already. We don't know. We'll talk about it. TikTok people hit follow. My TikTok is starting to, finally do some numbers. My cat content is doing numbers on YouTube. My cat is famous on YouTube, bro. I'm a proud cat dad. Toonie's getting mad views on YouTube. People like to watch cat videos on there. Need Twitch back. Only way I can listen and drive, but hope all is well. Interesting. I'm not on Twitch because for some reason I can't get my Twitch. I can't like figure out the Twitch algorithm. I haven't tried to figure it out, but like, the discoverability on Twitch is not big for me. I don't get a good audience on Twitch. It's just not there. Yeah, Volpe spoke today. Here's another one for y'all. Did the Yankees get better than last year? They think so. Watch Merv the cat. He's hilarious. Let's see. Here's what Volpe had to say. I think I'll definitely have to speak on this, and I'll probably try and pull up if there's any audio. But here's the quote from young Anthony Volpe, who is the absolute whipping boy right now of Yankee fans. Anthony Volpe says, "The chip I have on my shoulder has been there for my whole life, my whole career. I just can't wait to go out there and play and feel good and perform and help the team win. Because at the end of the day, if I do that and I play the way I know I can, everything will take care of itself. And I appreciate everything. I appreciate the accountability. I appreciate everything that comes with being the shortstop for the New York Yankees, so I wouldn't trade it for the world." Okay. All right, kid. What is your lineup for opening day? Let's get to opening day healthy. I can't call it. It's good to have Stanton healthy. It's good to see, it's probably going to be Trent Grisham leading off, Judge batting second, Belly batting third, Stanton batting fifth, Ben Rice batting. What did I say? So Trent, Judge, Belly, Stanton, Ben Rice fifth, and then I guess you can't really break up the lefties there. Jazz sixth. Caballero seventh, Ryan McMahon eighth, Austin Wells ninth. Yeah, I think that's it. What else happened today in sports? What else happened today that I need to speak about on tonight? So what y'all want to talk about? I don't know. Usually what I do too, I will go and I will look at I'll look at what the other shows talked about. If Doval, Bednar, Cruz are right with Cole, Fried, Rodon, Heel, and Cam, it could be lights out. Just a matter of, yeah, sure. Yeah, bro, I see you guys in the Instagram chat. Brian Flores is not going to get another head coaching job, but he's going to make his money as a defensive coordinator. He's the highest paid defensive coordinator in Minnesota. MJ Burke, what's up? Yeah, MJ Burke, I don't know. I'm trying to tell folks, I love WFAN. I'm so thankful for WFAN and the opportunity that I had to tell my story, to show my personality, to give my takes and do my show for 4 years. I have evolved and grown up to the point now where for my family, the betterment of my household, I need to be working during the day. That opportunity is not provided for me by WFAN right now. And I'm working towards finding that opportunity, and it's going to manifest and materialize very soon. So, I don't think that it's so much of a, and I know people don't understand all this. I didn't leave WFAN because Craig was coming back, or I literally was just like, I can't continue on like this. It's too hard to leave my family every night and then compromise them in the morning. I'm making my wife a single mother. I'm leaving my son, and I want to work during the day. I'm still under contract. I'm still doing part-time stuff, but the opportunity for me to do sports and talk and media is going to materialize during the day sooner rather than later. So the long and short of it is, like, they're not going to put me on the morning, midday, or afternoon, and they don't have to. I will do the fill-in stuff that I can, and I will make my next career move and decision very soon. Keith, number 84 that threw 102 miles an hour, does he have a chance to make the roster? Yeah, not great with names. That's Carlos Lagrange. Yeah. How counts receipts if the money comes in as planned? That's all he cares about. Well, the Yankees print money. We all say that. And, the Yankees they're straight. They're going to get their money. They're the most profitable. I think the Dodgers are up there, but I think they're worth the most. They're worth the most as a franchise. They're gonna get paid. That's never a problem. Yeah, Jay Reels, I feel you, Keith. The universe is watching. You already know. Like, that's what I like. I've already won. It's hard to articulate it for folks because you can't tell everybody everything, and there are a lot of negative people and people that kind of want to root for your downfall or you to fail or whatever. And it's like, I've reached a point where, like, I have value, like I've reached a point where, like, I've done 4 years of my own solo show on the radio, and that has value to people where, like, I have interest and it's going to materialize. And what I want and what I'm working towards is being able to still do some WFAN shows, but then still do a full-time job during the day. And it's on the way. It's on the way. Keith, will you talk about tonight the Jets will get a new QB? Yeah, of course. We got to. Prattman says WFAN has to get you on with Tiki. Tiki's always on with Evan and Morash. It's the Evan and Tiki show. I've never done a show with Tiki, honestly. Exactly, Pam. You're right. Keith, do you? It's nobody's business but your own. You are 1,000% right. But I'm an open book. And, like, I want people to read my book. I want people to see me in real time doing what I'm doing. And I think that's for the best. I think that the more that you let people in, the more that people get to see you, and whether they root for you or hate on you, it's all the same. It's all energy towards you, right? It's all eyes and ears and thoughts. And yeah, I would say stay tuned. I'm about to leave right now. Raging Bull, what up? I'm about to pack up right now. It's about to be 11 o'clock. So we're going to talk about Carlos Mendoza tonight. We're going to talk about Tony Clark tonight. We're going to talk about Giancarlo Stanton meeting the media. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk Jets QB, Breece Hall. We're going to talk MJ. We're going to talk MLB and injuries. We'll talk Giants, Tyler Linderbaum, Caleb Downs. We'll talk Carlos Lagrange, Elmer Cruz, World Baseball Classic, World Cup. Let me see. I had something in there with the World Cup. Yeah, World Baseball Classic and World Cup. And yeah, tune in if you're awake. On the Fan, 12 to 5. This biz is a major challenge, and not many would make the move you did. Respect. Yeah. It might sound arrogant or cocky, but I made the move knowing that I have value. I made the move knowing that this is not my end all be all. I made the move knowing that, like, this was a great opportunity for 4 years, but I gotta see what else is out there. And, like, just in the last 3 months, the calls and texts and emails and conversations that I have had, I'm thankful that people care about me, that people rock with me, that people are like, hey, man, come host this, come do this event. Hey, man, you want to work with us? And yeah, like I said, I want to be able to do a lot of different things. I want to be able to do WFAN and do something during the day. If I can do WFAN, fill-in spots, weekends, some nights, but then also make money during the day, then so be it. I guess Twitter was having some issues. It said Twitter wasn't streaming right. But all right, that's all I got, man. You did the 1,000% right thing for your family. Yeah, and that's it, right? My household is better. My wife, happy life. And I cannot put a value on, the connection and the bonding that I've had with my young son over the last 3 months, which is amazing. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will be on WFAN literally in an hour, so I need to pack up and drive there right now. And appreciate you guys watching this live. We'll do this again soon. You know what I say out here. Maybe you don't. Stay up. Stay blessed. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.